What if I told you that acing every single exam, getting that diploma with top honors, might not actually be the key to a successful life? It's a strange thought, right? Today, we're diving into this fascinating paradox, drawing from an article out of Nepal that really got me thinking. It's about this growing disconnect between what we achieve in school and what it actually takes to be happy and thrive in the real world.
So let's break this down. On one hand, you have the promise. It's all we're all told, right? Get good grades, get that piece of paper, and you're set. But then, there's the reality for so many graduates. A world of struggling to fit in at work, constant money stress, and even conflict in their personal lives. So, what's going on here? Where's the disconnect?
Well, the article points a finger at something pretty specific, and while it's focused on Nepal, I think you'll agree this sounds familiar. It's an education system that's all about textbooks and passing exams. It's so focused on theory that it leaves this huge gap where practical, real-world life skills are supposed to be, and that leaves students totally unprepared for the curveballs life inevitably throws at them.
So, what exactly is missing from the curriculum? The source breaks it down into 3 big categories, and we're going to start with the absolute foundation, the skills you need just to manage your own inner world. Let's call them skills for the self.
Everything, and I mean everything, seems to start right here, with self-awareness. It's about truly knowing yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, what you actually care about. Without that internal compass, people end up choosing careers based on what their parents want or what society expects. And that's just a recipe for feeling miserable and burning out down the road.
And right alongside that is emotional intelligence. And the lack of this one, it has some really serious real-world consequences. I mean, think about it. How many arguments at home or conflicts at the office come down to someone not being able to manage their own feelings, or just completely failing to understand someone else's? It's like having this shaky emotional foundation that can make even the smartest person totally crash and burn.
So, what's the payoff if we actually focus on these internal skills? Well, you're not just building character. You're building a solid foundation for your entire life. Your confidence grows. You get a much clearer sense of purpose. You find more patience and discipline. It all adds up to better health, both mental and physical, and a real sense of being in the driver's seat of your own life.
Okay, so once we get a better handle on ourselves, the next logical step is figuring out how we deal with, everyone else. And that brings us to the second key area: skills for the community.
Now, here's a huge flaw in any school system that's built only on individual competition. By always asking who got the best grade, we're accidentally creating a whole generation of people who just don't know how to work together. And if you can't collaborate, if you can't see other points of view, you're missing the absolute bedrock of what makes a good team player or a good leader.
And a massive piece of this puzzle is communication. But we're not just talking about having a big vocabulary. We live in this crazy paradox, don't we? We have more ways to talk to each other than ever before. Texts, DMs, emails, but the actual quality of our communication seems to be getting worse. So many misunderstandings. Real communication, that's about listening with empathy and knowing how to adapt to the situation you're in.
All right, we've talked about skills for you and skills for how you relate to others. Now we get to part 3, which is all about the brass tacks, the practical, roll-up-your-sleeves kind of skills you need to just function in the modern world.
And let's start with a really big one: financial literacy. You can have a fantastic job with a great paycheck, but if you have no clue how to budget, how to save, how to invest, you are on a fast track to debt and a whole lot of stress. It is maybe one of the most important and most ignored survival skills out there.
And the stakes here? They are incredibly high. As the author of the piece, Puparaj Joshi, says, a lack of financial literacy actually strengthens the vicious cycle of poverty. And that just hits you, right? This isn't just a personal failing, it's a huge societal issue that can literally trap families and whole communities for generations.
And honestly, the list of these crucial skills just keeps going. We're talking about basic stuff like how to manage your time at work. We're talking about digital literacy, knowing how to spot fake news and stay safe online. It even includes just being able to live on your own, cooking, budgeting. And underpinning it all is the ability to think critically and make a good decision. These aren't electives, they're essential.
So after all that, you might be thinking, wow, this seems like a massive, overwhelming problem. And it is.
So where do we even start to fix it? Well, the good news is the article doesn't just point out the problem. It lays out a potential path forward. But it's going to require a really fundamental change in how we think about education.
See, the solution isn't just adding a life skills class on Friday afternoons. It's about changing the whole system, making learning more hands-on, more interactive, shifting the focus to solving real problems, not just memorizing facts for a test. It means encouraging things like internships and projects that actually connect what you're learning to the real world. And, yeah, it means rethinking how we even measure success, looking beyond just the final exam.
And the author leaves us with this really stark warning if we don't act. Otherwise, the education system will be confined to a factory that produces certificates, and people's lives will remain incomplete and unbalanced. A factory that produces certificates? Wow. That metaphor is powerful. It really paints a picture of what's at stake.
So that really leaves us with a big question to chew on. After all this, if you had to pick just one thing, one single skill that school absolutely has to teach to prepare someone for a good life, what would it be? It's a question that gets right to the heart of what education should even be for in the first place. Thank you for tuning in to The Explainer.